All right. So last time you played, you ended with absorbing Langstrom, and we're gonna head back to your base because you had the holding cells. Um, After you absorbed him, y'all made your way to Lucy's car, and she set the coordinates, and y'all started driving there. And just as you were in the back, you just felt odd. This wasn't your normal absorption. There's something different about this one.
Okay, so not odd in the fact that I'm turning into a bug person.
Right. I mean, you're used to taking on traits, and so that part didn't really concern you. Um, but like this is now it's slow, but it's starting to actually affect your consciousness a bit. And about 30 minutes into the ride, you go dark. You don't realize it, but to everybody else, you passed out in the car. When you reopen your eyes, and this description, Polymer wouldn't really know the ages. This is just more to help you visualize it. You're in this what looks like a waiting room, like straight out of like in the 1970s, with the carpet, the furniture, and the lamps, the colors. It's very dated. It would seem.
Can I try to get some highlights?
Was that?
Do they have? Is there a copy of Highlights magazine going on over here? Is that what we got?
Well, and it's a fairly small room, but it's got chairs around all the walls, and in the middle there's two sets back to back. There are a couple of end tables in the corners of each corner, and it does look like there's magazines on them. There's also a man sitting in one of the chairs, and his head is down, and like hands up on around his eyes, like he's just distraught. And you can tell from your encounter with him that it's actually Langstrom, the guy you absorbed.
Okay, so I'm guessing that we're like in a sort of mind state. So can I hear in here, or am I gonna have to try to sign for this guy? I mean, I'll sign either way, just out of habit, but you know what I mean.
You'd have to try something.
Alright, well then, I guess walk over and like try to shake him, sir. Sir, are you okay?
What? As he kind of turns and looks up at you, like confused. What's going on? Where am I? Who are you? How long have I been here? And as he says this, you hear it, but you hear it like in your head, not through your ears, which you know the difference from absorbing other people. And it doesn't. He's talking, but it doesn't sync up with his lips.
Okay, so it's just to clarify. So it's like hearing when Respect has us all synced up. Then okay.
Right.
Anyway, just introduce myself. I'm Polymer. I don't know where we are. I don't know how long you've been here, but I've only been here a minute or two. Do you know where we might be?
No, I don't even remember where I was when I got here. How I got here. I mean, there's no doors. How did I get in here?
I'm still not sure where here is. The last thing I remember, I think you had turned into a bug, and I absorbed you. But I've never been brought to anything like this from absorbing somebody.
I was a bug?
Yeah, kind of a big one. We were in a school, and you were trying to chase me and a couple other people.
I am a teacher, but I'm not a bug. And why would I be chasing you?
You wanted to make us better? Does that sound like anything you would understand?
Well, I mean, yeah. Any good teacher wants to make their students get better and better themselves and make good choices and like that, but I wouldn't chase somebody down to, like, literally chase somebody down to force them to be better against their will or anything, whatever that even means.
We still weren't quite sure about that. We hadn't even seen you at all today, but there were a lot of other students talking about being better, and it didn't sound right.
I don't know. I want to go home.
Okay, well, so do I. Let's maybe we can try to find a way out of here.
Oh, and as you say that, and you start looking around again, where there wasn't before, there now is a door. And it's very nondescript, but it doesn't really fit in. It looks more like a steel door, like for a shed or something like that, than a doctor's office door or a waiting room door.
Alright, well, without him noticing before we go into the door, I'm gonna see if I can try and, because I get the feeling this is, somehow within the absorption. So if I try to push him out, I'm gonna see if that can just break down this whole thing. So before I open the door, like, I'm gonna, I guess, sort of subtly try to reconnect to my actual body and push him out, if that's gonna work.
Alright, roll Unleash. Okay, so as you focus and kind of extend your senses into your powers, doing what you would normally do to expel somebody, you feel like maybe you made some sort of connection, and you see a reaction from him as he's sitting there, like, just his eyes kind of go wide real quick, and he closes his mouth and looks down and brings his hand up to his mouth like he's trying to prevent himself from vomiting. And then all of a sudden, like as if being pulled from his stomach, he flies forward, slamming into the wall, and then drops to the ground as the connection drops. And he's on the ground now, like kind of like, oh, what the fuck?
Okay, so now I'm gonna try that again. I'm sorry. I think that was me somehow. I was trying to end the absorption, but I guess this place isn't going to let us. Let's just go focus on that door over there.
What does that even? What door?
Wait, does he really not see it, or is this just him asking?
Based on the question, you're assuming he doesn't see it.
I'll just point directly to it. Then there's a door that pops up right over there. We should go see if we can find anything to it. Maybe there's a way out.
There's. Are you losing it? Oh, there's nothing there. It's just more fucking chairs.
Well, then I guess you stay here, and because I'm definitely seeing a door, so I'll go see if I can find someone, and I'll try to bring back help if I can, or if I find a way out, then I'll come back for you.
I want to leave.
Alright, well, if you're not seeing the same door that I am, then I think that might mean it's only for me. I'll try to find a way to help you out too.
Please. And as he's pulling himself back up to his feet and just sitting back in a chair, I want to go home.
I know, I'm sorry. It won't be too much longer. Sorry, took my hand off the button. And then, I guess for right now, I'll just sort of leave him here and go see what's in the door.
Alright, so as you walk over and the door opens, it's not locked or anything, but as you pull it open, there's like a swirling vortex of energy on the other side. It's not making any noises, but it's definitely not what you would expect to see behind a door.
Obviously, I guess the next step is to hop in, but first, I'll turn back to Langstrom, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Alright, so yeah, I'll turn back to him. You're sure you don't see this?
There's nothing to see. This room... I'm gonna die here, and you are too. And he says that as a sense of hopelessness, not like a threat.
Alright, well, I definitely can't let that happen, so I'm gonna see where this leads. And I'm hoping it's not something gross, so I'll just hop in.
Alright, so as you step towards it, the second the first part of you touches it, you just feel yourself pulled into it, and your sense of self warps as you move through what appears to be a series of incomprehensible images and sensations. And you're rushing forward, but you feel like you're in every cell of your body with awareness, and then none at all. And it's very disconcerting. It's hard to keep track of how long you're in this state, or if you're moving, or what's going on at all, until you go dark again. And then as you open your eyes slowly, you're in a strange place again, but this time it is much more depressing than a 1970s waiting room. It's very dark colors, blacks and dark grays, and the walls are kind of steel with rivets in them, but along the wall, as you kind of look around, are a series of kind of upright beds is the best description, and each one has a person in them with some sort of energy field around them, and you can't make out the details of the people in the bed through the energy. And at the far side of the room, there's a person standing there, wearing a white gown, like a type of a lab coat, not really a gown, like a doctor's coat. But you can't make out anything else about them, because the room is really long, maybe 30 feet long, and they're at the far end of it. And you look around and you realize you're in the same kind of bed, but there's no energy field around you. And so underneath, what you have on is this black, but it's a series of straps and buckles, kind of like bindings to a straitjacket almost, but you can tell your arms aren't actually bound. And as you get to your hands, you realize that your fingers are kind of elongated and green and kind of shiny, like scaly chitinous carapace.
Okay, not Polymer saying it, just me. I'm turning into a bug, aren't I? Alright, well, either way for right now, since I can barely see the guy at the end of the room, I'm guessing that means he hasn't noticed me just yet?
If he has, he hasn't acknowledged it.
Okay, then, well, first off, get off of the bed, but I'm gonna go over to the nearest energy field, and try to see if I can... Well, first, I guess, see how safe it is to touch, but if it doesn't hurt me to touch it, then see if I can reach through it, see the person inside, or at the very least, try to see them better.
Okay, yeah, so you pull yourself up, and you realize you were being supported more by the bed than you may have anticipated, considering they're upright, and your legs feel a little weak as you make your way next to it, and there is a little podium with just a flat surface that doesn't appear to have anything on it next to each of these other beds. And as you approach it, the podium kind of comes to life on top, and the flat surface becomes a sort of holographic overlay, and you can't quite make out the language. It's very it uses letters, but there's letters you don't necessarily recognize, but it looks to be some sort of patient data. And as you tentatively touch the field, it doesn't hurt, and it's not even solid, actually, and you can pass right through it. And so you're just, you said you wanted to, like, stick your head in, basically, to look at the other patient?
Right, sorry, I forgot to press down the button. So, yeah, sticking my well, I guess hand, since that was where I reached out to check on the person. Is the person solid as I reach through, or is that also a hologram?
No, the patient is very solid, and as you get closer to it, the energy through some of the flickers and whatnot, you can see a little bit more detail. It's still not clear, but it's better than it was in the bed, and it looks like that their head, because that's really the only part you can see underneath the clothing, is green, and there's strips across their head, kind of like that look natural, but they are yellow in color as their eyes are closed in this bed. And yeah, your hand passes through it, and they're solid.
Well, since I can touch them, I'm gonna, the same thing as Langstrom, try to shake him a little bit to wake him up. Although this time a little more hesitantly, because if they're starting to turn and I don't necessarily know what's happening to me, I don't know if I want to wake them up, but at the same time, I don't necessarily want to be alone either.
Right. Yeah, as you shake them, there's not really any response from them, and as you're doing this, you hear a voice from behind. Oh, what are you doing? And you're awake, Gimza. You're awake.
Wait, who did they just call me?
Gimza.
Who's Gimza? I'm Polymer?
And if you, as you turn around to the voice and say that, it's the doctor, and their face is the same green, buggish reptilian. Their eyes are large and kind of almost segmented, but not quite. The doctor's eyes are kind of a bluish white, and the strips in its hair, or on its head, like the other one had that were yellow, are also kind of a bluish white, and the antenna that he has are the same color. Like, what? Gimza, we need to get you in for some testing. If you seem to be confused.
Okay, it is still, like, recognizably Langstrom, though, right? And I know you said that it was, but...
Oh, no. Langstrom was only in that room, in the waiting room. These are full-on, like, bug people.
Oh, okay, never mind, because I was about to say, how did you get out? Testing? What do you mean? What do you mean testing?
If you're confused, if you don't know who you are, we need to make sure you're okay, to make sure there was no degeneration of your neural matter while you were in your coma. All your readings were normal. I don't expect there to be, but you seem very disoriented, more so than normal.
Well, I don't understand. I don't know if that sounds right. If that sounds like something that, I mean, you sound fairly confident in it, so I guess so. Basically, I'm just sort of hesitatingly babbling with the I'm not sure about this, but I guess I'll sort of go along with it for right now.
Right. Yeah. So, just get back in your unit there, and I'll have the apparatus run the scan.
Alright, so I guess do I just back up, since they were upright, I guess sort of back up onto it?
Yeah, you basically just reverse how you got out of it, kind of a slight step into it, and then it's mostly leaning back into it. Like it's not 100% upright, but mostly upright. And as you lean back into it, the doctor walks over to the podium next to it, and the holographic display pops up, and as you like kind of watch what he's doing, you've noticed that the letters have become more understandable. It's still not quite fully comprehensible, but now you're making out words, and You see the name he called you, Gimsa, on there, and what looks to be like an identifier area, like personal information part. You see comatose. You see 5 years, and then unknown on a number of different spots. Like it actually, the word unknown is what you understand it to be, as the rest of the thing kind of pulsing a little bit, like transforming into a way you can understand it as time goes on. And as you lean back and he starts manipulating things, it changes up to a different screen, and he hits a few buttons, and then from the back of the bed you hear like a kind of a whirring sound as two pieces come out on either side of your head, and the tips of them light up as energy kind of starts looping between both ends and forming this bluish energy stream swirling around your head, and it's giving feedback to the doctor at the tablet as he's looking at it, and he's just interesting. How do you feel?
I I guess I don't know. I feel, I guess, mostly normal, but none of this looks right, and I guess I feel cold.
Well, it doesn't look normal. What do you mean?
Well, I guess I don't know, but the way I was feeling before, I mean, I feel, I guess sick from whatever's happening, but mostly like I normally just feel okay, aside from, I guess, being cold and sick.
Let me run another test. And he starts tapping away at it as the energy around your head is still going and processing, and you see more little devices come up along the bed, and it kind of does the same energy loop around you. It's clearly, because you're pressed up against the bed, it's going through the bed and on the other side around you as well, but that seems to offer no interference to whatever testing it's doing. And he starts getting data from that as well, and, well, you're physically, everything is fine. Your body temperature, your biological systems, everything is normal. But there's an interesting reading mentally. Are you having a hard time thinking? How I may need to, yeah. Wait here. I'll be back. And he turns and like kind of hurriedly leaves the room. The tests are still running.
Okay, well, I guess for right now, I just close my eyes and sort of press myself back into the table, like, okay, come on, we gotta wake up, we gotta get out of this. Because at the moment, I think I'm still thinking this is just a dream.
Okay. Yeah, as you're thinking that, you do feel like the slightest touch in your mind, familiarity, and you think maybe it's respec. From your mind link, you know what respec feels like, for lack of a better word, and it has hints of that, and then it's gone.
Since that was something you said I felt in my mind, I guess I'll try to call out to it. Just try to see if she can hear me then.
Yeah, you try, and you focus, and you think on the way it normally feels to talk with them, and you call out, but there's no response. And so you're not sure how long you wait there. The door opens and the doctor comes in, and he's got two other doctors. You're assuming they're dressed the same way as with him. One of them is female, and where he had the blue eyes and kind of like the blue head stripes, hers are white. And then the other doctor's male next to him, and So his are actually a very bright green on, so it's green on green for him. And they all come walking over, and they start looking at the data as more and more has come through processing. And the woman doctor just, so what's the last thing you remember, Gimza?
I remember a waiting room. Dr. Langstrom was there. Before that, I was in the school fighting bugs. And who's Gimza? I'm Polymer.
As you say all that, like, her eyes just kind of widened a little bit, and then she recollects herself, and all the doctors kind of look at each other, and this, I mean, that there is a slight discrepancy on your neurological scan, but it's not anything that should be causing this level of disorientation or confusion. Who is Dr. Langstrom? And why would you be fighting bugs?
Well, I guess I don't know Dr. Langstrom very well, but one of my new friends said that she was looking for him too, and so we were trying to find him to make sure everything was okay. And then there were kids at school who were talking about trying to be better, and then the bugs attacked. And I've never been to school before, so I don't know if any of that's normal, but we were all very scared, and everyone else was fighting. So,
And when you say the part about getting better and all that, all three of them just kind of stiffen up and look much more serious as they look at each other and then look at you. And the original doctor, I'm just going to run some more scans, and nods to the other two, and they very quickly leave the room. And the doctor starts tapping away at the pad, and more, like, different types of energy fields start moving around you, running all sorts of different scans and tests. And his eyes kind of keep shifting between you and the device. Like more of a, he's actually just kind of watching you now and not really focusing as much on the testing.
is everything okay? What are you checking for on me? Am I going to be okay?
Yes, we're going to get a specialist in here. We're not sure what's wrong with you, Gimza. All of your systems appear fine, except for this small neurological abnormality, but again, it should not be causing the confusion you have. Yeah, so just wait for the specialist.
Oh,
And it sounds very not like they're getting another doctor.
well, okay, I guess for right now. Just a minute ago when you guys were gone, I thought I felt one of my friends. Is there anyone else like me who's awake right now?
No, everyone in here has been comatose for quite a while. This is the final resting place for what we assumed would be all of you, but you woke up. Now, what do you mean you felt your friend? Who is your friend?
Her name is Respect. We've been fighting crime together, and we almost killed a cowgirl. And I thought I felt her in my mind, but then it slipped away. Is she here? What's happening?
Fighting crime, like cowgirl. When you have these thoughts, where are you?
I'm in a city with Respect and another friend of mine. Ours called Mr. Body, and I mean, like I said, the last one was at a school, but it's all still within the same city.
What city?
It's called Halcyon City, and normally nobody looks like this. We're all human.
His eyes go really wide as he just kind of taps a few buttons and then just starts slowly backing away. Just yes, just wait here. They'll be back soon.
Oh, well, okay, I guess. Is he about to run out? Is he leaving me, or?
He doesn't appear to be heading for the door. He just appears to be creating some distance.
Well, I guess as he's backing up, all of the energy fields, are they like keeping me from moving, or are they just measuring? Like, can I lift my head or anything still?
Oh yeah, no, they're not binding you there or anything. They're just, it's like the energy field surrounding the other people. They're intangible. They're just being used to collect data about you.
Then yeah, then as he backs up, I'm not gonna leave just yet because, I mean, narrative wise, I guess I haven't picked up a threat just yet, but I am gonna try to lean forward and see if I can look around, see maybe where he's trying to back up to, or if anyone else is coming.
Yeah, he's just kind of backing away until he bumps into a wall. And as he does, his antennas start twitching more, and like a nervous twitch in his antennae as he just like keeps watching you.
Okay, well, I guess he said someone else was on the way, so I guess that's kind of where I'll leave it until they get here. Just trying to look around and make sure everything's okay. And actually, just in case there is any kind of threat, should I roll for this? But I want to try to see if I can look for a door in case I have to run out.
Yeah, besides the door that they came in from, that you saw him leave through and they came back through, yeah, go ahead and roll to, I guess, assess the situation.
Ooh, alright, an 8.
Alright, so you get to ask one of those questions. Well, what can I use here to blank? What's the biggest threat? What's the greatest danger? What's vulnerable? How do we end this quickly? But so basically, you wanted to find out like what you can escape from. So what here can you use to escape, or something like that?
Yeah, that'd be what here can I use to escape, or fight back just in case, but mostly looking about escape.
Okay. Yeah. Besides the main door that they came through, you think you noticed at the far end another door down there, and which out of character it is. In character, you're pretty sure it's a door. And then there are a series of decently sized vents that you could probably fit through running along the tops of the wall, but you don't know, obviously, where they would go or anything else.
Do those look low enough that I'd be able to hop up to one, or is the door probably going to be my best option?
I mean, the door would probably be your best option in general, but there are a couple of them that just happen to be positioned to where you could kind of springboard off one of the podiums and into it.
Okay, so I'll keep that in mind for right now, since you said a specialist is coming, just in case that goes south.
Yeah, and then as far as like defending yourself or whatever, it's not like a normal human hospital like you would expect with instruments and machines everywhere. Like everything seems to be tied to the bed units and the podiums, and there's really nothing else superfluous in there. There's no hand utensils or tools or anything like that, or waiting room chairs or anything like that could be thrown. It's pretty efficient.
Okay, so yeah, so nothing I'd be able to actually grab and pick up and carry with me.
And so as you're waiting, a few more minutes pass, and the doors open, and the coming through are two fairly large reptilians, or bug people rather, wearing, they have like primarily red suit, but over that are silver and black, large shoulder pads and large armored gloves. They have a silver black chest plates with also like the large boots. They're very clearly like soldier guard types, and there's two of them and one has like the blue on the stripes on his head, and one has an orangish color. And on their head, they actually have a sort of visor coming over their eyes, and a like guard piece coming down, covering their ears and coming down around their jaw. You should see something pop up in a second here, and one of them is holding a long, like black stick that looks like a nightstick, but you don't know for sure what it is. And the other one seems to be barehanded as they come in, and behind them are the other two doctors. And the woman like points at you, and that's the one. And so the guard started approaching you.
That always ends well when someone brings in two big dudes and says that's the one. But no, seeing these guys, I'm going to be on my guard, but I don't want to put up anything outward yet, because I don't want to seem more threatening than I already must be to them. So I'm on my guard and I'm watching them, but not, I guess, doing anything outward just yet.
Alright, so yeah, as they approach, they kind of get on either side of your bed unit and step forward.
Where are you taking me?
Step forward.
Alright, so I guess for now I step forward, but hesitantly, like, I'm not too sure about this.
Yeah, so the one that was empty-handed kind of then puts his hand on your shoulder and turns you and grabs both of your arms to move them behind your back. If you want to react, I'll let you do that. If not, if you just don't want to go with it,
I'll resist because this has never seemed good. But for now, I'm going to go with it because these definitely don't look like Project Olympian. So I know I'm not being taken for anything like that. But I'll put up a little bit of resistance, but I am mostly going along with it.
Okay, so you kind of resist the pull, but you're not actually fighting back or anything.
Right, yeah, not fighting back yet. Still hoping this might turn out okay.
Alright, and he goes, stop resisting, as he pulls your arms back behind, even with more strength, and arranges your hands, and you feel something cold just form around both of them, kind of binding them together and completely enveloping them behind your back. Walk.
Where are you taking me? Where are we going?
Do not speak. Walk.
I guess for now I walk.
And
my hands are bound, so not like I can do much anyway.
And so they kind of guide you out of the room, down a long hallway, and as you go, you pass random people, and they're all the same kind of buggy people. So you're clearly doesn't seem to be in Halcyon. And as you walk past, cuffed and in the hospital gowns, they just kind of like most of them just kind of like look at you, and then if they're with anybody, they kind of start like whispering to each other, like pointing and stuff. Not sure exactly what's going on, but despite having been in what appeared to be a hospital-type clinic setting, that doesn't really seem all that hospital-like out as y'all walk around. Like, it's more just... It feels more like a city street, despite being completely inside. There's different units that look almost like they would be the equivalent of shops or storefronts as y'all walk. And more people, the farther y'all get from the clinic area, the more and more of the people there are just kind of milling about like you would expect in a downtown shopping district almost. And they just walk you past all these people, and then at the far end of the street, you can make out a very large building that's very nondescript, but you figure it's at least 50 stories tall. And it's just a solid looking rectangular building. There's no ornate architecture, there's nothing fancy about it. You can tell that's where they're taking you.
Is that? Oh, I guess yeah. Last is that where you're taking me? What's happening? Where is this place?
yes, you will be held there until further action can be decided upon. And he leaves it at that.
Held? Wait, am I held for what? What's happening?
You would do well to stop talking.
Well, damn. I guess I don't really. Sounds like these guys aren't really gonna give me anything. So I guess yeah. For now, until I find someone who I think will actually talk to me, then.
Well, if you
I guess, yeah, for now.
you can kind of keep attempting and then roll provoke.
Okay, yeah. I guess I'll. Yeah.
Or pierce the mask.
Do what?
Or pierce the mask. Either one.
Actually, yeah. I'll go Pierce. See if I can get any information out of him.
All right. So you get to ask one pierce the mask question.
Alright, hang on, just 1 sec. Alright, well, there's what do you want me to do, which I think I already know. They want me to not talk and they want me to keep walking. So, I'll go with what do you intend to do? What are you guys going to do with me?
We are taking you to the facility, and we are going to throw you in the hole.
The hole? That doesn't sound good. What's the hole?
You're clearly insane. All of us know what the hole is. The hole is what we live to avoid.
Is there any way I can avoid it now? I don't feel insane. Is there any way that you guys can not do this?
No.
I guess I had to try. I guess I'll resist again, like not fighting back, but resist kind of like I was before. Although I doubt it'll do any good until they get me there. But I guess for now I'll see what the hole is. So at least till my hands are down and I can try to fight back.
When you say resist, you mean just kind of like struggle, like to make them kind of force you to walk type of thing, or like what exactly do you mean by resist?
Yeah, just like struggling against them. Like I don't want to go this way, but there's not a whole lot I can do, so I can at least make it harder for them to drag me.
Alright, so as you kind of stop walking as much and kind of shuffle your feet or just stop altogether, and they have to start kind of pushing you more, kind of pulling at you, the one that was holding the rod, he just throws his arm back with it and just slams it into your gut, and as it hits, one, roll to take a powerful blow.
Hooray, it's a hit.
Alright, so you don't really have anybody else you're working with, so you can't lash out verbally, so you either give ground and your opposition gets an opportunity, or you struggle past it and mark the conditions. I mean, the give ground is the obvious one.
Yeah, for now give ground.
Yeah, okay, so as it hits, you actually kind of stumble back a bit and drop to your knees, but it also, upon contact, you felt like this surge of pain emanate out from the tip of it and where it hit to every nerve cell in your body. You just kind of like drop in agony as it just feels like your nerves are on fire for a second, and as that washes over you, you get some flashes in your head of you, like the sense of self is attached to them, which is strange to you, but the memories are not yours. You're at what looks like it could be a lake, except it appears to be, instead of water, just crystal. But there are people like the same reptilian bug people actually swimming through the crystal, which just seems like it would hurt, but they're doing it just fine. And it cuts to you're like actually over one of the cities in some sort of flying device with two other people that seem to be close friends, as you're all kind of like laughing over something that one of them said, but you don't remember what they said. And then it flashes to another one of you're waking up and next to a woman in bed, and the sense of emotion with it is that it's the equivalent of like a wife figure. And then you're back there, and throughout all of it, you also you had the sense that your name was Gimza, as they've been calling you, but you know that's not the case. You're just remembering it as if you are. And then the pain recedes, and you're back there as fully you. You just have these flashes of memory.
Alright, so before I get up, I'm on the ground, and I guess, since it was to the gut, I sort of coughed this out, but wait, I think I saw something.
And kind of get up.
But what was all that? Who is Gimza?
You are. Now stand up.
I guess I'm a little more shaky because I just got hit in the fucking stomach, but since there's not much left I can do in terms of trying to fight back, then yeah, I'll stand and I guess sort of slowly walk, but I'm trying to figure out what all of that meant, like, in my own head.
Right. So, yeah, y'all keep walking. You'll get closer and closer. And then the one who's kind of to the front, that's kind of leading you, is the one that doesn't have the staff in their hand, the baton, whatever it is. And you hear some sort of commotion behind you. And then some people kind of screaming as the other guard turns, and you see him. He grabs you and just kind of like slams you up against the wall, and then pulls something out of like a pouch on his belt and slams it on your chest, and it creates this like strap that actually straps you to the wall. As you see the other guard who was there with you, now dead on the ground, missing his head, as there's another creature, another alien, with red skin, very large bug eyes, but different from theirs, kind of a skull-like, skeletal-looking mouth almost, though, with long ears. He's got these white dots around his head, and it has no discernible genitalia, but otherwise doesn't seem to be wearing clothes either, other than like some wraps around his feet and hands. Has some like these shoulder pads on and kind of straps across his chest, like almost like some sort of weird gladiatorial looking outfit. And strapped to each of his wrists are a set of dual claws that are now bloody, with the other one on the ground. And he just, you will all pay. And people are scattering and running, and the other guard like throws his arm down to his side, and not sure where it came from his suit, but the same type of baton kind of pops into his hand as he runs in and smashes at the attacker. The attacker kind of sidesteps and comes under and slashes at the guard, and it goes right through their armor. Actually, cuts right through his chest with a couple of slashes. And as he does that, the guard kind of tumbles to the ground and jumps back up to his feet and manages to strike the attacker across the back of the head, who, with the baton, who screams in the anguished kind of pain you had, but is still going, like it didn't actually stop him. And he comes through and just like punches his hands forward, and the claws just go straight through the guard, and he just pulls it up, and it severs straight up out of the guard's body as he falls to the ground. And then he's just kind of looking around and looking at you. He walks over to you, pulls his arm back, and slices down, freeing the bond from the wall, and kind of freeing you from that. Where do you stand?
I don't know who or where any of this is. I guess I don't know whose side I'm on. Thank you, though, I think.
If you were not with me. And he pulls his arm back, like he's gonna smash the claws, like cut the claws right through your face.
Have my hands been freed, or was it just getting me off of the wall?
Yeah, your hands are still bound by the device, but you are free of the wall.
I guess. Are you cool with me being able to absorb through more than just my hands? Because I had sort of pictured it as like hands being just the easiest because, reach out and grab somebody. but that it could be from anywhere.
Yeah, I mean, just like basically any part of your body, flesh, blah 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 blah. Like if somebody grabs your head, you could absorb them through that.
Okay, then yeah, that's right. Because I did the bug through the back of my neck the other day. Then I guess while his arm's back, I'm gonna try and I guess sort of lean into him and see if I can get any part of my face on him to try to pull him in. I don't even know if it'll work, but the absorption's what's worked for me so far. So I don't know if it'll work for this bug body, but I'm gonna go ahead and try.
Go ahead and roll. This would probably also be unleash your power since you're not actually attacking or anything. All right.
So I guess it works.
Ish. I mean, something happens. As you kind of move forward, his hand comes down and the claws go into the wall to where your head had been as you'd move forward and kind of pressed yourself up against him, laying your head across his chest and trying to activate your powers. And he doesn't absorb into you like normal, but what you do get is basically his memories. And you see that his name is Gelva, and he is of the Rishna, which appears to be a cousin-like species to these bug people who, even within the Rishna, don't actually have a name other than, like, the other. And they come from sister planets orbiting a star. Like, it'd be the equivalent of, like, Earth and Mars in their tracks. They're constantly at war with each other, and Gelva had been captured by the others and one of their raiding parties on their planet and put into the slave pens, where he was eventually chosen as one of the fighters for the gladiatorial arena. But he has managed to escape and now is just basically trying to kill as many others as he can while trying to find a way off-world.
Does doing that stun him at all, or is he still going?
Yeah, he doesn't really seem to be aware that it happened.
Then let me see, because my hands are still bound, so I can't exactly fight him off. I guess I'm kind of deciding if I want to run away or if I want to. Actually, I'm just going to try and run. Do I have any kind of opening to try to run from him?
Yeah, you can run.
Okay, then yeah, I'm gonna try and just get out from under him and then just take off.
Okay. Yeah, so as he pulls back to kind of takes a moment to free his claws, that gives you the opportunity after the memory absorption to kind of move out from under and take off running. He seems to not think you're worth the effort as he just starts going after anybody else closer, any of the others, and just starts tearing into them, like literally tearing into them with his claws as he just kind of fights his way down the street.
Alright, well, I'll take, I guess, one last look back at him, but then I'm looking, well, I gotta try to find someone who can undo my hands, but for now, still running away, but trying to look around to see if I can see any kind of identifying marks on any of the buildings to see if, whoever's inside might be able to undo my hands.
Okay. Yeah, I guess go ahead and roll assess.
I ain't found shit.
Yeah, don't forget to mark potential. Which that might actually give you an advancement, maybe. But
oh yeah, it does. That's the last potential I needed for an advancement.
Yeah, and your last advancement will come into play next session when everything's back to normal. But yeah, so as you're running and looking around, you're realizing now that you can actually read the language, but nothing from any of the storefronts seem like they would be what you need as you run. And besides that, everybody, when they do see you, they're still kind of like backing away from you or pointing and like like whispering to themselves. Like you really stand out, and you're honestly not sure if any of them would help anyway because you're clearly cuffed by the authorities.
Well, in that case, since it looks like no one's going to help me, then I'm going to just try and find somewhere secluded enough for me to just kind of chill for a minute and focus on what the hell is happening. Oh, and also, real quick, I guess for my advancement, I had already done one from another playbook, and I don't want to flip through the other playbooks right now to see about doing that again. So for right now, I'll use that advancement to unlock Moment of Truth. Like, not that I'm going to use it right now, but just it's there as an option, I guess.
Okay, if you want to do that one, that's fine. And so yeah, as you keep running, and you kind of start realizing the area you're getting in seems to be kind of getting a little bit worse, even though there's no sky and it's all like an interior looking city. It still kind of seems to have good areas and bad areas, and the state of repair is getting worse as you kind of run. Like you're heading towards the bad part of town, basically. And the people walking the streets become fewer, and the ones that are there kind of start getting a little bit more almost like menacing looking. And whenever you do, but throughout all this, actually, you haven't actually seen any of the other authority guard figures. So, yeah, kind of like, is there anything in particular you look for, or?
Now, for right now, I don't know, anyone friendly, I guess, but it doesn't look like there's much of that. So, if there's anything environmental that I can use to try to get this off, like, is it a band that could possibly be cut, or or is it like something big and solid?
It feels solid, but you haven't actually seen it, so you don't know. Out of character, it's basically giant metal cuffs, like wrapped around your entire hands that bound together. Like the type you might see in like a X-Men movie to keep Sabretooth's claws or something bound, those giant hand harness metal brace type things.
Okay, that was kind of what I thought it might be. Since it doesn't look like I'm going to find anyone friendly, then if I can find anything environmental that might be able to get them off, or at the very least hide me for right now until everything dies down.
Okay, so you start taking to some of the smaller streets and alleys and work your way back until eventually you do come to this building that you can tell on your newfound understanding of the area based on like being able to read the language now, and you kind of getting feelings and impressions about things. You don't really necessarily know where you're at, but you can feel, okay, yeah, this is the type of thing you would avoid in polite society. This is this or whatever. And it appears to be a derelict, empty building as far as on the paper. Whether there's anybody squatting inside, you don't know. But it's not like it's not a open store or anything like that. But yeah.
Okay, so for right now, I'm just since I am sort of out of the way for right now, just sort of chill, kind of rest my head against the wall, and basically, oh man, what the hell is going on? I'm trying to make sense of those memory flashes too, I guess. Did I get any names from out of those? Like, do I know who the people involved were, or is it just knowing that it happened?
The only name that really came was from waking up next to the woman, and the name was Eason.
Okay, well, I guess after I sort myself out, maybe I can try to find her, but I don't even know where I would start.
Okay, so yeah, so you kind of make your way inside the building and find a dark corner. Doesn't seem to be anybody else in there that you've seen, and so you find some kind of debris and whatnot and kind of hole yourself up behind it to hide. Yeah, if you go ahead and roll Unleash Your Powers again.
Oh, actually, real quick, didn't you say I needed to mark a doom track the next time we started last night?
I mean, it's irrelevant for the story, but it will mark on your sheet.
Okay, yeah, I'll need to just go ahead and clear that, check that off after I roll Unleash.
Okay. So, yeah, as you reach out to try to do something with your powers, whether it's expel yourself or Langstrom or reach out to respec or anything like that. You just instead draw in like more memories that feel like yours but not. And so whatever this Gimsa is, why ever you're being confused as them or in their body or whatever, you can tell it's more memories from that person. And he was actually a soldier in the other's army, but fell. The last thing he remembers is being at the front of a massive explosion. So you're assuming that's when he went comatose. But prior to that, he had been deployed on the Rishna homeworld, harvesting their children. And he was good at his job, and he enjoyed it very much. And as you're getting these flashes and these memories, you're also kind of getting some of his knowledge, and almost on autopilot, like you don't even realize you're doing it. You say something, you make these noises that would be humanly impossible, and the cuffs actually disengage.
Well, then, first off, I'm going to toss those as far away from me as I can, because fuck them. But then also, it's been a little bit, so I'm assuming that I'm starting to feel cramped, so just doing the whole, like whenever someone gets out, rubbing their wrists for a second, like, oh my god, it's so great to be free.
Okay. Yeah, so you throw the cuffs, and there's like a clatter as they hit the ground, but other than that, yeah, you're unmarked, unhurt, and you're completely unbound.
Alright, well, in that case, since I am unbound now, and you did mention there's debris and stuff, so I'm going to see if there's anything in here I can use to make a disguise, or like any kind of clothing that might hide my face so everyone's not just fucking staring at me when I go outside.
Right. Yeah, I mean, other mechanics, we might do something else, but I guess go ahead and roll to assess the situation.
Great, that didn't work.
Yeah, so as you're digging through things, but you don't find anything that's really useful. At most, it'd be some sort of like some strip of fabric that you could kind of toga around yourself, but you would still stand out quite a bit. Now there is other junk and like dirty things and strange liquids you don't really want to touch that you could use to kind of dirty yourself up and splatter up your face to try to hydrate anything, but again, nothing you find will help you not stand out. It'll just look slightly different.
Well, I guess slightly different is better than exactly the damn same, so screw it, I'll work with what I got. You mentioned the strip, so I will, I guess, I sort of fashion that into... Now, when you said a toga, have I been naked this whole time?
No, you've been in the hospital clothes, basically.
So yeah, so I'll make what I can, I guess, out of that strip of cloth, try to dirty myself up, see if I can smudge my features enough where, like you said, it looks different, but, not in disguise, but hopefully different enough that people aren't going to be like, oh, hey, it's that guy.
Right, okay, yeah, so you take off the top of the hospital clothing and then replace that with the strip of fabric, creating like a wrap around yourself with it. And then, yeah, you're touching things then to kind of smear on you a little bit that you don't really want to know what they were. And, yeah, you're doing the best with what you have. So at the very least, you won't look like an escaped hospital patient.
Just a homeless hospital patient. But no, so I guess once I've gotten that as good as I can, go back outside. There was the option of trying to find the wife, but honestly, I don't know if that's going to be the best option. I want to try to find some way out of this place. But if I were to physically leave, that doesn't get me back into my regular body, does it?
No.
Not asking as Polymer. That's
Right, no, that would
just
just
me
be
right now.
off-world in some alien solar system or something.
So I guess what I need is a way back to being Polymer. I did take Portal as my Doom sign, like we were talking last night. So I don't know. It feels like that would probably be something that will the first time at least will happen accidentally. So I can't just portal my way back. But right now, though, just go outside, try to I guess find any kind of way out, or if anyone. I almost wonder if I should go back to the hospital and see if I can find anything. But I don't know. I'm guessing I didn't see the way that I got here, so I wouldn't be able to find my way back.
I mean, it was pretty straightforward. I would say maybe, even though you haven't had the best of luck, roll, assess, and if you get any level of hit, you can figure your way back.
All right, then I'll roll for that and try to see if there's a way. Hospital, I guess, is going to be my best option. It's where I woke up. At the very least, they would know more about me. So yeah, I'll roll assess, see if I can figure my way back.
Okay, yeah. So even though you were as disoriented as you were, it was a pretty straightforward path that they brought you on. So you can easily figure out how to reverse the way you came and get back to the hospital area.
Alright, so yeah, so I'll do that. Duck, from what I remember on the way here, I don't think there were a whole lot of like side streets that I'd be able to duck in and out of, but basically trying to avoid being seen as much as I can, however much that may be on the way there, but definitely going back.
Okay. Yeah, so you make your way back, like trying to stay as hidden as you can, and people see you, but they just kind of do what people do, and they walk a little bit faster, they pretend they don't see you. Despite being an alien bug world, having been homeless a bit at Polymer after escaping Olympian, you feel like it's still more human than you would expect.
It's familiar. It's a familiar kind of dread.
Right. And so yeah, you make your way back to the hospital area, and are you trying to head back to the actual room you woke up in, or?
Maybe not quite that room, because if I remember, I don't think there would really be anything that I could use. So I guess just other parts of the hospital, see if I can maybe find anywhere that's got any kind of just files or any other information to tell me what's going on.
Okay. So yeah, you realize like a couple hallways over is going to be where you woke up at, and so you don't want to go back there. And so you start kind of making your way through as quietly, as unobviously as possible through the hospital. When you pass by this one door, and you feel somebody like kind of grab your shoulder, and they pull you into the room, and they shut the door behind as they do, and they kind of slam you against the wall, and their elbow comes up to your neck, and it's another bug person. This one's dressed like what you assume would be kind of like an orderly, based on the way the doctors were dressed. Kind of like gets real close. You actually feel his antennas kind of brushing against yours, and it creates this really uncomfortable sensation for you. Like, not like it hurts, but like the Gimsa part of your mind is like, this is creepy, ooh, bad touch. And it kind of looks, and where are you from?
Well, I guess that's sort of still what I'm trying to figure out, but my name, I guess, is Gimsa. I was here earlier, and then some things happened, and so now I'm trying to figure out why I was here.
You are not Gimsa. How are you doing this?
I don't know, but thank you for realizing it's, you're right. I'm not Gimsa. I'm someone called Polymer. I don't know how or why I'm here, but I should be back on Earth with my friends. Where is this exactly?
That's irrelevant. What do you know about the operation?
Operation? I think Mr. Body told me that's a game.
You said you were in Halcyon City. You said people were being made better. Don't play dumb. What do you know about the operation?
Not much. All I saw were kids wanting to make me better, and then giant bugs that were. I don't think they wanted to make me better. I think they wanted to make me food.
He kind of pushes harder into your throat with his arm. Just, who sent you?
Is this Bug Batman? Is that what's happening here? Not Polymer saying that. I don't know if she knows what Batman is yet. Is this Bug Wayne?
No.
I don't know. I absorbed Dr. Langstrom after he had turned into a bug, and then I found myself in a waiting room, and now I'm here. I don't really know why.
What do you mean absorbed?
It's what I do. I'm able to draw people into myself and borrow. I guess I never really asked, so maybe steal would be a better word. But I can use their abilities and their memories for myself. It's how I fight crime. I'm a good person.
You have the Langstrom inside of you?
Well, I did. I can't seem to get my powers to work here, so I don't know if he's still here with me right now. But outside, back in Halcyon City in my regular body, yes, I had Langstrom inside of me.
Tell me of the one inside of him.
It was strange. It was like the bugs that we were fighting, but a little bit different. I'm able to get memories from a lot of people, but all I really got was white noise from this one, and it started to turn me green and into the same sort of bug person that Dr. Langstrom was. I don't really know very much about them right now. This was the first time I had seen one.
He kind of loosens his grip a bit, and so you fought the Langstrom.
Yes, it was me and my friend Respec and the new girl. But yes, we all fought him together.
You do not know anything more about his intentions besides the get better? Anything about any other details of his plan?
No, that was what we were trying to figure out before he found us and started fighting. All we know is that it was him and a few of the students at the school, and they were trying to make everyone else better. What does that mean exactly?
And he kind of starts. He moves away from you, kind of walking, like kind of almost like pacing the room. It is our prime directive to improve a species, but never against their will. We go from world to world, and we exert our influence and create a symbiotic relationship with the natives. The one inside of Langstrom, something is off with him. He went rogue. I don't know the full details. I am an agent for our operatives on Earth. I'm liaison here for them. I stay in contact with them, but I have not had contact with them for a few days. And you showing up here, saying the things you're saying, Gimza should not know these things. The goings-on of any operation off-world are top secret. Not all parties in our society agree with the Prime Directive. Some believe, as Langstrom does, but have never acted upon it, the fact that the one you call Langstrom, the one inside of him, has acted upon it, suggests outside influence of some kind based on his behavior. Because even the dissenters on our world, it is not within them to actually go against the will of the greater good.
Greater good. No, but, so, can you help me get back? Is there anyone else? Are there more of you on my planet, or is it just the one inside Langstrom and the ones that he put in students?
Yes, we have dispatched a hive mother to the planet to help resolve the situation. Whatever happened to the one you call Langstrom, we will find the cause eventually. I will tell you now that with the hive mother there, we will not be leaving, but any that join us will be doing so through their free will.
Well, that's, I guess, at least a little bit better. Can you help me get back to Halcyon City, to my regular body? I still had Langstrom absorbed when I came into this. If there's a way you can get me back, perhaps I can give him to you. If that would clear things up.
Without having your physical body here, I'm not certain of the nature of what happened to you. You say you absorb people, but what happens to them once they are inside of you? What do they become?
Well, I guess I'm not 100%. I guess I'm not sure entirely. I can sometimes, depending on how aware of it they are, we can talk to each other. So it's like their consciousness is still there, but they don't have a physical body anymore. I guess it's like what happened to me just now, really, except that they don't normally take over.
Perhaps. I'm not a scientist, but the only thing I can think of is perhaps something to do with the hive-mind connection that Langstrom has with the species interacted with your powers, and you ended up in an empty vessel.
I mean, I'm also not a scientist, but maybe I have a few friends who are pretty smart. That might make more sense to them, but that does sound like it could be it. Do you know of any way that we can end that? I just want to go home.
I do not. But if you agree to go on the record with my agency regarding your knowledge of the Langstrom, at the very least, I feel certain that they will authorize your return to Earth in this body.
And then from there, you'd be able. You think you could help get me back into my regular one?
I have no idea, but you would at least be on your home world.
I guess that is better than nothing, yeah.
Gimza, he was a lost cause. His mind seemed to be gone after his last insertion. He will not be missed, as those who were in his life have already mourned his passing. He had been comatose in that room for for decades. So there's no loss there on him never returning here.
Okay, well then, I guess let's go do that. See if we can get me back to Earth. Actually, out of character, how much time has passed? because I know normally when I'm in my body, an absorption can only last about 12 hours before it's forcibly shot out. So are we getting near that, or is that kind of overridden for what's happening right now?
Now, based on like out of character knowledge and last session, like everything that happened was maybe 3 or 4 hours, and this is all happening during that time. So
Okay, so yeah, so no need to worry about any of that. All right.
yeah, whenever like with the whole Doom Track thing, you'll know when and why it happened.
Okay. Well, wasn't quite asking for the Doom Track, but more just wondering if because if it was close, then maybe I could just run out the clock and hope that it shot me back into my body. But if it's only been like a couple hours, then probably not going to be my best option.
Gotcha. So yeah, he leads you out of the facilities to another location. You can tell it's supposed to be more of a hidden location, primarily because you get to what on Earth would be a bookstore, and he says something strange to the clerk, and they respond, and he walks into the back room and taps some like panels on the tiled walls, and like a door kind of opens, and it's like a shimmering portal, and you'll walk through that and teleport somewhere else, so you have no idea where the actual location is. Guide you through the facility. First thing they do is actually let you get cleaned up and give you some, for the species, normal clothes. He takes you to like a debriefing room. Has like 4 tables, or I mean 1 table with 4 chairs on one side and 1 chair on the other, and at the 4 are 4 other of the bug people, and what, based on your memories from Gimsa, are pretty high ranking within the military, some branch of it. Not a branch you've seen, or like even Gimsa is not a branch Gimsa is aware of, but still high ranking. Yeah, they sit you down on the other side of it, and just so one of the ones on the end. What do you know of our people?
Well, really, I guess only what I've seen so far today, which isn't much. I know you guys don't seem to like me very much. I never got his name, but the guy that brought me here said that you guys will go to other worlds and help improve them, but that it's normally a choice, which is not what the guy that I fought on Earth has been doing.
Yes, the one you call Langstrom. Tell us everything you know about him. And so I know you basically tell them the same thing you told the other operative. No need to go over the same information in character. Like,
okay, good. I was about that.
They kind of like mull it over, and that's it.
That's it. Yeah, that's everything I know, at least. I think my friend Respec might have had some more information about him, but that was all that I knew.
And the ones that he infected, what of them? Do you know the nature of how he went about it?
No, that was what we were trying to figure out, but he caught us, so we weren't able to. That was when the fighting happened.
I see. Do you know how long he's been acting on your world?
Not exactly, but I don't think it. From talking to the others, I don't think it had been very long.
I see.
Actually, out of character, have we figured out how long it was? I don't remember.
Yeah, I mean, y'all don't really know. Lucy found that meeting place in the sewers where there were a lot more there than there had been at the school alone, but she hadn't conveyed that information to you, so you're not sure. All you know is about the school, and based on the people you saw there, it seems like it'd be fairly recent.
Okay, yeah, because that was what I was thinking, that we had figured out at least.
Yeah, so I mean, out of character, it's been longer than just a few days at the school or whatever, but all y'all know of is the school, or all you know of.
Okay, so yeah, so as far as what to tell them, I don't think it's been very long, at least from the information that I've seen.
Okay, very well. Well, the situation should be resolved upon the arrival of the Hive Mother. Any control the Langstrom has over, well, his assets, she should be able to take back.
And I know, obviously, you guys want to get the thing that's inside the I guess one of you guys that's inside Langstrom, but will you need Langstrom himself? I think there were people on Earth that were still trying to find him. Would there be any way to separate them?
Oh yes, the separation process is easy and under normal conditions. And we do not need the host.
Okay, good, because then he'll be able to. He was. I don't know much about schools, but I think he was important at this one.
No, that's for your human concerns, but no, we do not need him. The mother will extract what we need. He will be fine. Physically, at least. I don't know what state mentally he will be in. This is a first for our species.
Oh, actually, that reminds me. Before I woke up in Gimza, I was in a waiting room of some kind, and I saw him. Does that sound like anything that any of you would have experienced from bonding with someone, or is that totally new?
That is not normal for how we bond. There's more of a blending when the bonding is mutual. Both consciousnesses are aware and can interact, and both are active.
Okay, because wherever that was, it seemed like he was trapped there. So I guess hopefully this would be able to get him out, but I don't know. He seemed pretty worried.
Yes, perhaps it is a side effect of the more one-sided bond, or perhaps it is a side effect of your abilities based on your description of them.
Maybe, I don't know. I've never felt anything like that before, so I don't think that it's me. But anyway, hopefully, getting back and separating them, we'll be able to get him out.
Yes. Now we are told that you wish to return to Earth.
Yes, preferably put back in my own body. If you guys are able to, I don't normally look like this. I want to go back to being a girl, please.
Well, we can send you to Earth. We will have to remove some memories of Gimsa's. We can't have you walking around with detailed knowledge of how our military operates. But returning you to the body, we're not sure why this happened or how. But on Earth, with your physical body present, the Hive Mother may be able to sort it out.
Alright, well, I guess that's worth a try. I guess let's do it.
Very well. We will make the arrangements. And they kind of all get up and leave, you alone in the room. The operative who first encountered you at the hospital comes in, and his name is Hematox, and he kind of brings you out into kind of a break room type waiting area. Gives you a container with some undulating green liquid that, and he has one himself. He takes it, like he takes a drink of it, and just kind of sitting in silence while y'all wait. And from the memories of Gimza, it's a normal beverage from the planet, but it's also the excretion juice of a mammalian species that exists in their tropics on their world.
Oh, thanks, I guess.
Yeah, the Gimza part of you knows it's delicious, but the Polymer part's like, I'm drinking poo if I drink this.
I mean, I guess it's not my mouth. I'll try a little of it. I don't know.
Yeah, you take a sip, and as it hits the tongue, it just kind of explodes with like all these different amazing flavors, and it's very hard to wrap your head around the fact that it tastes that good, knowing its source.
Great. Well, I guess as long as I'm in the Gimza body and it tastes good, I guess why not? I probably haven't even had anything to eat or drink, so I could probably use it.
Yeah. So yeah, y'all finish that, and he refills, and you kind of wait a while, and eventually another operative comes in and gets y'all, and so they take you to this large room. It's kind of the door opens, and there's a platform that goes out. It's a spherical room. The platform kind of hangs out in the middle. At the end of the platform, it forms a rectangular shape, and at the center of the rectangle is like another kind of round, raised platform, and directly above that, hanging from the ceiling, is its opposite, where it looks like the same platform, just upside down. Please step onto the platform.
And this will get me home?
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, so I guess I'm a little apprehensive, but these particular guys I don't think have lied to me yet, so I guess I'll step on it.
And as you walk out, there is an operative waiting on the rectangle area, but off of the raised platform. And as you step onto it, he steps up behind you and slips something on your head, like a little ringlet around your head, and you hear it kind of to life, and you feel like this excruciating pain surge through your head. And as it passes and they take it off, you realize that all of Gimza's memories are gone.
What? Ow. Okay, first off, ow, but what was that? Was it supposed to hurt?
It's not pleasant erasing a mind. We had to make some adjustments from your hospital scans to separate Gimza thought forms from yours, and that may have added to the sensation you felt.
Well, either way, it definitely wasn't fun, but thanks, I guess, if it was something you needed to do.
And so as you kind of like just think and try to remember stuff, you remember everything you've experienced on the world itself, and you do still have like some faint impressions, like of Eosin and the air ride, but they're like a fading dream type of thing, and you have absolutely no recollection of anything to do with his military knowledge or knowledge of their technology or anything like that. At which point the operative who put it on your head, he takes the thing off and walks away, and they all, that operative and Hamatox walk out, and the door seals, and the platform leading to the door actually starts pulling in, and so now the rectangular platform you're on is just kind of floating in the middle of its room, unattached to anything, and the raised up platform you're on like just erupts with light from underneath, and the one above it erupts with light shining down, and it's this almost blinding white light. Then you hear an energy charge kind of building up, like a surging hum, and the light starts growing even brighter, and a solid beam, shoots down from the top one to the one you're on, connecting the two. And as it grows with power, the energy starts to kind of crackle and swirl outwards, and soon the entire chamber is just awash with this massive swirling energy, and you're kind of in this eye of the storm as it all starts swirling faster and faster and faster, and coalesces into like just this moving ball, actually swirling around the room, and then it slams into you, and it's almost like a physical sensation similar to that mental one you had when you stepped through the door in the waiting room, as you feel yourself physically like transformed and elongated and surging through space until there's just like you do feel it like a solid impact, like with a lot of oomph behind it, as the energy hits something, and as it dissipates, you're in kind of a rounded crater in a grassy field somewhere. And as you look around, you're uninjured. You're still kind of disoriented from the sensations of it, but you see Halcyon City in the distance.
Well, okay, so I guess it worked. Thank you. We should.
Oh, you're by yourself.
Oh, I thought the guy came with me. Okay. So wait. So how do I? I thought they were supposed to help.
No, they were saying the Hive Mother, who's on Earth, would be able to potentially help.
Oh, okay. So I'll have to, I guess, track the Hive Mother down before before I find the others.
And so, what do? I'm assuming you're gonna head to the city.
Yeah, they had mentioned a hive mind type of deal, so I assume I'm able to use that. Probably not like as an exact location, but at the very least like a hot or cold kind of thing to find the others, or to find the hive mother.
Okay. Yes. Roll Unleash. Yeah, you realize that this whole time, despite being in Gimza's body, you haven't actually felt anybody else's thoughts coming in or out of your mind. So if you are connected to the hive mind, you're assuming it's not a constant active connection, like where everybody automatically knows everything else, and it has to be activated somehow, and you're not quite sure how to adapt and activate it.
I guess, because I can't really search around in Gimsa's mind since they erased Gimsa, but I guess can I try to mentally call out, see if anyone hears me like that?
That's kind of what unleashing your powers was just trying to activate it, trying to reach out and touch the hive mind.
Oh, okay. So then, I guess I'll periodically keep trying that again because, I mean, they got to be here somewhere. But for right now, walking back in toward the city.
Okay. And so, given that you are in the body you're in, are you just like walking along the side of the road? Are you trying to stay unseen? I mean, it is Halcyon, it is a world known with superheroes and mutations and this and that, but at the same time, not everybody is keen on non-humans, so...
Yeah, for right now, as long as I'm still outside of the city, I guess not really paying attention to it, but once I start to get more into the outskirts and then the city itself, kind of doing like I was doing back on the other planet, like sticking to side roads and alleyways, so as to not really be seen that much.
Okay. Yeah, and then, so, your headquarters, it was a Project Olympian base. It's kind of outside of the city, but it's on the other side of it, so, like, you need to get through the city to get to your base. So yeah, you start making your way there, and as you're walking along the side of the road outside of the town, this car kind of honks at you and kind of pulls up slow off to the side of the road, like on the shoulder, kind of right alongside you. With it's an old VW, like hippie van, really busted up and beaten up, and the window kind of rolls down and like, "Hey, you need a ride?" And the driver is clearly not human. They've got blue skin with like a shark fin type of thing coming on off the top of his head, and his face is kind of elongated into like a shark form. And the van is very busted and run down, but it still clearly drives.
Yeah. Do you know if there are any more like me nearby? If so, I need to get to them.
Nah, man, I've never seen anything like you, but, us not humans, man, we gotta stick together.
Okay, then yeah. I guess give me I guess if you don't mind taking me to where some more non-humans are, maybe someone else can help. Are you okay, man?
Yeah. Nah, yeah, I know the place. And, you get in, and he starts driving, and it's just like, so, you're not, were you human, or are you something else? What's your story? If you don't mind, I can be personal. Like, I was just a shark at the aquarium, and, like, some magic dudes were fighting, and, like, one of their spells went wrong, and it hit my tank, and next thing you know, here I am.
Well, normally I am human, but somehow I got put into an alien bug's body, and they sent me back here to hopefully find their hive mother and get back into my regular body. So I guess it's kind of a weird story, but you're a shark, so what do you know of weird?
Hey, man, just because I'm a shark, you don't got to be racist, man. I've seen some stuff. I mean, this is Halcyon City. You think I ain't seen some weird stuff?
Okay, that's fair. I guess I'm sorry. Just been kind of a long day.
Nah, that's cool. I mean, you said you were human first, and you're trying to become human again. So I mean, I guess I should have expected it. I mean, all humans are racist, at least a little bit.
I guess I wouldn't necessarily know about that. Even before all this, I wasn't exactly with other humans, so.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I try not to spend too much time around them. I mean, and then once I got this body and like I became really aware of what they were doing. I mean, they're killing my people all out there. They're killing all us animal folk out there. It's crazy that y'all think y'all can just do this to all of us. I mean, I know we're not people, but we're living things too. I mean, I guess I'm kind of a people, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, you're right. It's pretty messed up. I'm sorry. I really don't like it. You're right. It's not good. We shouldn't.
Yeah, I mean, at least you understand. I mean, and I hope you learn from this experience. This whole being not human, and take something away from that. It's not every day, even in Halcyon, that a human can find out what it's like to be on the other side. So, don't let it go to waste.
Alright, you're absolutely right. I'll keep that in mind. I'll try to remember all of this.
Yeah, and if when you do get back to being a human, and you need any pictures taken or anything, and he hands you his card, and it's Sawtooth Photography.
Oh, wait, do I have any pockets?
Yeah.
Okay, then thanks. I guess it's stacked in my pocket for right now. Thanks. I'll keep that in mind. I don't necessarily know how big my friends are on having pictures taken, but I'll definitely recommend it.
Cool, thanks. Yeah, I mean, even not your friends. I mean, if you ever know of anybody who needs something done, it's hard making an honest living in a human world.
Yeah, I'll pass it along. Thanks.
And so y'all drive for a bit more, and he pulls up. It's a not so nice part of town, and so yeah, that building there, it's kind of a shelter for us non-humans, for the ones who aren't able to find work or maybe find a meal all the time. But yeah, it's going to be your best bet for non-humans that I know of.
Oh, all right. Well, thanks. Do I do I owe you anything for this?
Nah, just remember what I said. Try to learn something from this, and also, yeah, just give me a call if you need some pictures taken, man.
All right, I will. Thank you. Thanks again.
Oh yeah. Good luck, I guess. Then he drives off. The building itself it's pretty low key, pretty run down, 2-story building. It's just doesn't have any signs on it or anything, and some of the windows are actually kind of boarded up, and the ones that aren't have like blackout curtains on the other side, so you can't actually see in at all.
Well, I mean, I hesitate and I'll take a deep breath first, but I mean, I guess I gotta go in. Hopefully, they'll be able to direct me to someone, right?
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah, so you go in, and there's just an assortment of non-human people. Most of them are like kind of animal-looking people, but some of them actually look like they might be lower-end machines, like robot people from like the 50s and 60s that are very outdated and kind of dilapidated a bit, and which you're assuming are some alien species, but no humans around at all. And there's a kind of a food line set up, and all the people working the food line are also non-human. More specifically, they're all appear to be humanoid, like giraffes. And their necks are long, but not like absurdly long. But yeah, they're wearing kind of a volunteer, basic black T-shirt with the word volunteer on it as they ladle out food to other people coming through.
This might fall under assess, but I guess instead of getting into the food line, I want to look around for, I guess, whoever's running this, so that I can see if they know where I can find any other bug people.
Yeah, go ahead and roll assess.
1 sec. So close.
Okay, yeah, no, you don't find anybody who stands out as being any more in charge than anybody else. But as you're kind of making your way through, and it's not super crowded, but it's still more full than you would have expected. But as you kind of walk through, you hear a chair kind of move very quickly, like somebody jumping up out of it. And as you turn to look, you see this older, kind of waif-thin figure. Because of the species, you're not sure if it's male or female, but if they even have gender. But it's instantly recognizable to you, though, as an old, weak version of the Rishna you ran into on the other world. Like, it's not the same person, obviously, but the same species.
Oh, wait, do I see them coming, or are they still behind me?
They're backing away, like they saw you, and like they're backing away, like to get away from you.
Oh, okay. Then I'll hold my hands up, like no, I'm sorry, I'm not here to cause any trouble. I just wanted to ask a couple questions.
I'm not. No, don't. You've taken enough, please. Don't. And as they say that, like other creatures around you, other people are watching, and you see some of them kind of like tensing up, like about to act if they have to for whatever's going on.
I'm sorry. I'm not. I don't want to cause any trouble. I just need to know: are there any others like me around here? There's been some kind of mix-up, and I need some help getting back to the way that I'm supposed to be.
Roll comfort or support.
Haha! I hit you with my comfort.
Okay. So they visibly kind of relax a little bit. Like, what? Why? Why are you here? You don't. I wanted to get away from you. Y'all took so much already.
I'm sorry. I'm not here to take anything. There was a mix-up, and I got pulled up. I got pulled out of my own regular body, and I woke up like this. They said if I came back, that someone here might. There's a hive mother that might be able to help me out and get me back to my body. I don't think they're gonna hurt you though.
Whenever you mention like the hive mother, like their eyes go really wide, and they just, oh God, it's happening again. They're coming for us. No. And he just kind of breaks down and drops to the ground, like sobbing. At which point, one of the nearby robot kind of like shimmies over. It's not quite walking. It's like those old robot toys where their legs had like those braces in between their feet, like they kind of stepped. You know what I'm talking about?
Okay, yeah.
And like this is a human-sized version of that, basically. So it's just kind of like very awkwardly walking over to it and extends an arm down, and it kind of extends a little longer and kind of pats him on the back and like, there, it will be okay. And one of the other patrons, it's clearly alien, not one of the earthbound animals turned humanoid. So, clearly that one knows, like, whatever you are. So, what are you here for? What you here to cause some problems? And he's got
No, I'm not.
he's got 6 arms and like moves them all together and cracks all of his knuckles.
No, I don't want to cause any problems. Like I said, I'm. This is kind of weird, but I'm normally a human, and I woke up in this body on their home planet. They said that if they sent me back, there was a hive mother somewhere nearby that might be able to put me back in my regular body. I just need to know if you guys have seen any more like me around here.
Nah, you're the first one of you I've seen around here. Then, if they react like that to you, I hope you're the last one I see around here.
Well, actually, out of character, I don't know if it's a good idea to bring up the school or not. I was about to say. Well, hopefully, yeah, you won't run into any more, I guess, or at least no one that wants to cause me trouble. I just need help is all I need. Do you know of anyone that might be able to help me find who I'm looking for?
No, not. I think you need to leave.
What are the other people in here doing? Do they also look like they want to hit me?
It's a combination of like fear and getting ready for a fight across the crowd.
Great. Okay, so yeah, I'll just hold my hands up. Okay, you're right. I'm sorry to have upset anyone. I'll just go now and sort of back slowly toward the door.
So as you back out of the door and kind of walk out onto the street, you hear from like around the corner of the building like a bzz, bzz, bzz.
Say, what could be that strange sound? No, I guess I'll go around the corner and see what that was.
Well, and when you hear the noise and you kind of turn to look in that direction, you see like a silver robot head kind of sticking out of the side of the building, like from around the corner, going, bzz, come here. Like he's trying to be secretive about it, but only has one volume.
Okay, I guess I'll go over there then. Hi?
I think I can help.
You've seen more like me?
I have not seen more, but I can take a sample of your biology and set my scan system.
Oh, well. Okay, yeah, that then, I guess.
Excellent. Let's move further to the back. I do not want to be seen with you.
Alright, thanks.
And so you're assuming, and this is out of character what happened too, like while the commotion was going on, he kind of walked his way outside to help without them knowing he was going to help. Y'all get kind of further back down the alley, and he moves y'all behind a dumpster. Extend your hand.
Is this going to hurt? What do you need to do exactly? I mean, I still hold out my hand, but you know.
There may be a slight jolt of pain.
Great. Well, it's not like this day. It's not like this day has been pain-free, so I guess I'll be okay.
And so his chest opens up, and this like rectangular box kind of comes out on a like out, and then it kind of like the end extends downwards, and it lines up with your hand, and then the box extends forward around your outturned hand, and you hear, and on the agonizing pain as it chopped off one of your fingers, and it pulls back, processing biological matter.
Do I have my hand back, or is it still on the box?
Yeah, no, you have your hand back, and it's bleeding out of the finger where there was a finger.
Did you need that much? I thought you only needed a little bit.
I took the least amount needed for my processing system. I am an older model. I apologize.
It's okay. I guess ultimately it's not my hand. The goal is to not even be in this body, so I guess it won't be missed too long.
Now, it didn't cauterize it or anything, so you are bleeding out of a gaping wound that was your finger.
Let me see. I don't think I've got anything. No, well, I guess no. Yeah, I don't think I've got anything on me to use as a rag, so I guess I'll need to look around while this dude's repeating.
You could either find something from the trash in the dumpster there, or you could like rip off a part of your clothing, like part of your sleeve or something.
I'll go with the sleeve, the one that's cleaner.
Alright, so you get that going as you hear the robot kind of like dinging away. Sample processed. Scanning. And from his head, like a panel opens up at the top, and like an antenna comes out, like a radio antenna. And from the side of his head, panels open up, and parts of like on each side of his head, like half of a satellite dish comes out, and his head kind of extends up at the neck, and then it starts like turning or like rotating in a circle. The head like an old school satellite dish, and you just hear it like ping, ping, ping. Scanning, 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 scanning. And as you stand there, like it goes on for like a good 10 minutes of him just scanning, 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 until finally scan complete, and the head lowers and all the pieces go back in, and I have detected trace biological signatures matching your biological sample.
Great. Where are they? Can you give me any kind of anything to look at, or can you take me there?
They are everywhere.
Well, that's good. That's good to know. So it wasn't just the school then.
It was also at the school.
Thanks for that. I knew they were at the school. Is there maybe a bigger one like that would serve as? They told me to look for a hive mother. Is there one that I guess would be bigger that you think might be that?
The strongest signal was detected outside of the city. I can give you a map.
Okay, yes, thank you. Yes, a map, thanks.
we need to find paper. And like a compartment opens up on his chest, and it looks like an empty printer roll of like dot matrix paper.
Okay, I guess. Are there any office supply stores around? Well, I don't have money, do I?
No.
Great. So how are we gonna get paper? Did not think about that. You know what? Screw it. I'm gonna go ahead and. This probably is gonna end up being assessed as the situation or something, but I'm gonna check the dumpster to see if there's any kind of paper or anything close enough to paper that we could use.
Yeah, go ahead and assess.
Well, so I guess that didn't work.
Yeah, I mean, you find some paper, but it's not like dot matrix paper, and even then it's all covered in trash slime.
Alright, well, I guess I can ask the robot. Do you know where we might be able to get some paper nearby?
There is an Office Max 3 blocks away.
Alright, well, I guess in that case, do you want to go with me, or is this gonna just be me?
I do not have any money.
Crap, neither do I.
I suppose
okay,
I
can
just tell you the directions, if you can remember.
I'll be able to remember, yeah, but I don't have money either. You know what? It's fine. I'll figure something out.
I mean, I can tell you the directions to the signal, if you can remember.
Oh, to the signal, yes, that works too.
And so he starts giving you the directions, and based on having been to and from quite a few times now, you realize that the directions he gave end with the signal being at your base.
Of course they do. Well, then, to the base, I guess. Still sticking along side alleys, especially after what just happened. Sounds like most of the humans probably wouldn't like me, and definitely the non-humans seem like they're going to not like me, so making my way to the base as quickly but carefully as I can.
Okay. So, yeah, you get, maybe 15 minutes down the road when all of a sudden you feel that touch of familiarity again that you had early on whenever you thought you felt respec, like touching minds. And then you suddenly kind of go dark and see a storm of images and distorted of your memories, and based on what you know of her, you're assuming respec's memories and memories of others that you don't know, like two different distinct alien minds, like some lower life forms of some kind. They're like instinctual memory and memories that you can only assume are Langstroms, just swirling and swirling in your head until all of a sudden just nothing.
Nothing as in, like, I collapse, or nothing as in...
As you just completely go dark, your mind, like, not aware of anything, you pass out kind of thing.
Okay.
And we'll end it there.
Okay, alright, that'll be a fun place to pick up next time.
And so
I almost got another advancement out of this. I'm one spot away.
Nice. So, since they're not, like, really any team stuff around, I mean, if you want to do the grow into your self-image into session move, where you can, like, shift your labels up or down, one up, one down, and explaining why you see yourself differently, you can do that. But there's really no justification for growing closer or growing apart from the team for this one.
Yeah, since they weren't around. I get, I'm trying to think of what I would shift for any of this.
And you don't have to.
Oh, okay, then yeah, because I can't really think of anything that would shift based on what was going on.
Okay. So, yeah, like I said, that'll end there.